It's time!
What do you guys want to talk about?
Are you ready for some football?
There you go. Hello? You're on mute, buddy.
What happened?
You were on mute.
I'm not on mute.
No, now you're good. You were.
Oh, man, this tech stuff. The thing just froze, dude. I hate tech stuff, man. All right. Well, that was always, as a typical Curtis entry there, a kiboshing of the technical gods. Anyway, hey, guys, what's going on? Jedi Kev, my man Tommy. We're out without Trevor and Juan this week. How's everybody doing? What's going on? What's the scene? Big week coming up.
We got a major echo in here, by the way. Somebody has their...
That wasn't me.
Now we're good.
It wasn't
no
me.
idea.
It wasn't
We're good
me,
to
Tommy.
go. Yeah, no echo now, so I don't know.
Oh man, what happened? Is this StreamYard turn into garbage or what?
No, this is Streamlabs.
This is Melon.
Melon turned into garbage. Anyway, 2 minutes of awkwardness. Yeah, that's right, Spin. You got to believe it. Hold on a second. All right, guys. So let me put that up. That was a good one. All right, so let's kick it off now after 2 minutes of awkwardness. All right, so we got a big week coming up, and I was looking over just as we get into this this basically AFC Shakedown. There's a lot of big games. To me, this is like a pivotal week. I mean, you look at the schedule right now. You've got KC, Miami, Jacksonville, Ravens tied with Buffalo, Steelers, and Cleveland, the Jets, and Bengals next behind them. And look at this slate of games. I didn't realize how many good games there were this week. Dolphins, KC, Dolphins, Seattle, Ravens. Cardinals not so big with the Browns. But then you got Bengals and the Bills. And then there's the Steelers and where is it? Where's the Steelers? Jets and Chargers. This is going to be a really good week for games, man. I think it's going to flip things. I think this is like a crossroads. So we'll only talk about the AFC East, but this is going to be a really good week for football lovers. Anyway, we'll get into it. Tommy, how you doing? What's going on? Kev, what's going on? Hey, Scott.
What is going on, brother? Hey, Scott's in the building. Yeah, so by the way, real quick to everyone in the chat there, Trevor and Juan will be gone for the next 2 weeks. With some personal stuff. So they'll be back, like I said, in about 2 more weeks. And then we'll have some news to break at the end of the season when it comes to the AFC East Shakedown. So Just a heads up with that. We won't say anything now, but the last show of the season, we'll tell you guys what's going on with the podcast.
Oh, I'm typing. I can't do two things at once.
You don't want to do that.
No. Someone had a good one. I had to do that. I'm sorry. I'm feeling it, man. This is a really exciting.
That you could type into. You don't have to go on YouTube. You could type into here on your.
Oh yeah. Oh wow! Look at that, huh? All right. I'm special. All right, so we're not going to really do much Pates. We're not going to do much Pat stuff this week. I'm just going to focus on the Jets, Dolphins, and Bills. We'll go over obviously my Dolphins kind of ending the Pat season, which I feel really good about. But we'll get right into. We'll just start with the Pats and the Dolphins from last week. Do last week, and we'll do them this week. The Pats, man, they had an opportunity, but they did what they always do. The last couple of seasons, just choke and make big mistakes. That pick from Ramsey. Ramsey, what a big entrance could you get? You couldn't get a big entrance. You got the pick, he caused a fumble, and that was it. I mean, the Patriots showed themselves a little bit and made it much closer than I thought. But, man, that kind of ended their season. So what do you think about that? Talk about my Dolphins. Or if you want the ending of the Patriots season, however you want to spin
it. Who's going first?
Who do you want? Who you got? Who you got going first, Curtis? Who you want?
Kev, you can go for it, brother.
All right. Ramsey endeared himself just like a WWE performer. Scripted, like come in and what an entrance. Getting that pick, being an impactful player. If you're a Dolphin fans, having him come back, and if these guys was going to give you, turn back the clock, you're going to be giddy because one thing that a lot of you Dolphin fans are a little worried is your defense. But believe it or not, if you guys an area that you need improvement is at the defense area, or at least them on paper become that shutdown defensive team because you have the offense that could really take you and carry your team. For the Patriots. Listen, this is a divisional game. They're going to play really tough with one another. The Patriots are going to play everyone in the AFC East tough, and vice versa. For them to have that close a game like that, the Patriots are always going to be a force to be reckoned with. I know they're not. You're not going to see the talent on the field because they're not as talented as Miami, and that's when Miami went out and won the game because they had much talent. So. I'm not using dial-up, so I don't know what's your problem, Roy. But seriously, I mean, are you guys hearing me wrong here or something? Is something wrong with my connection?
You're crackling a little bit, brother. You're crackling a little bit.
All right, so I'll be back.
Don't worry about it.
This AFC Shakedown is crumbling in front of everyone.
All right, Tommy. You're up, Tommy. It's all me. Listen. It's always good. It must be me. I told you. I think I got like a barbarian curse when it comes to technology. Anyway, then there were two. Two.
Yeah. So how I felt this game would go exactly is what happened. So we made the Patriots look like the Tom Brady Patriots a week ago, and I knew that the Patriots would come down to earth. And show their true colors against the Dolphins. Mac Jones, I once again, I cannot believe we made Mac Jones look like Tom Brady last week. You guys saw his limitations against the Dolphins. He does not have a good arm. I think he's average across the board as far as what he can do. That pass that was intercepted was a floater. Good interception by Ramsey, but
did you see him? Did you actually see what he did?
I saw the play.
Planted and came back. I mean,
I get it, Curtis, but listen,
it was amazing, dude. I thought I saw magic.
Better quarterback makes that play. I'll go back to Mac Jones' playoff game against the Bills. He did the same thing. He had a guy wide open, and Micah Hyde got the interception. I don't know if you remember that in the playoffs, 2021. Their first drive, guy wide open, beat Levi Wallace, but he hung it up in the air way too long. He just doesn't have the arm. He doesn't have the arm strength to get there. And you could definitely read him better. He's just not. Listen, I don't think he's a quarterback there of the future, and I think they know that. But you guys did exactly what you're supposed to do. 31 points. I think it's good enough to beat any team in the NFL if your defense could at least do their job. And they did their job for the most part, holding the Patriots 17 points. I will say the one thing about the Patriots this season that's not good is a running game. Like I really thought they would go run heavy more this season. And Stevenson's just not looking good. And I don't know if that's just because they're just not giving him the opportunities or the run blocking's not there. But I told everybody from the start of this season the Patriots would be in last place when it's all said and done, and it's exactly gonna be that. So yeah, I mean, I thought the Dolphins did exactly what they were supposed to do against a bad Patriots team that looked great last week against the Bills, but Patriots came down to earth, and this is exactly who they are: 14 point team that just is not very good on offense. Listen, they were averaging 12 points a game before they played us. I mean, it's terrible.
That's not good, right, Tommy?
That is not good. Like, man, I by the way, I wasn't here for that show because I was doing the fight.
Oh, Juan and Trevor were in their glory, man.
Oh, I bet they were feeling it. But as you know, they're not.
They're not so much glory now. It was glory last week. This is the unglory stage.
They were feeling themselves for a little second, but they understand what the deal is, I think. But it's okay. I understand. Either way, though, Dolphins did their job. You guys got a tough matchup coming up, and I'm sure we'll get to that later. Yeah. But yeah, man, that there was nothing surprising in that game. I'll be honest with you. I thought the game was a little slow at first for you guys, and then you turned it up. In the second quarter. So,
well, the thing is, a whole offensive line got broken down. I mean, the guys dropping like flies, and it's so weird. If you look, we had 19 play actions, and that was the most all season, except for against the Chargers in the first week. So we were just trying to hold things together, and it would have been a lot harder. But the Patriots are missing 3 of their top 4 linebackers in the 3-4 system. It was really, really tough for them. But they actually did a lot better than, you'd figured. Bill Belichick was able to, dial up some good calls on defense. They just lost. They didn't have the talent. And even with our gutted line, it was just too much for them. And then Mac's got to be immaculate in his pre-snap and post-snap decisions. He's got to fall in the line of Brady because he lacks, and he doesn't. He's supposed to be this real smart guy, but he just always makes these boneheaded plays. I think if he had like a Brady-style immaculate pre-snap and post-snap decision-making, he'd be all right. But he doesn't have the room for error to make the mistakes he does. And so, it was a tight match. It was a very tight game. The refs were terrible. I mean, as bad as it was for us last week with the Eagles, it's like, all right, they said, all right, this week we're gonna go on your side. And I don't think they do it purposely. I just think they suck so bad that it happens.
Yeah, I think the referee.
Hey, where's Kev? Did I chase Jedi Kev off, man?
Looking backstage, see if he came back on. If not,
nah, he's not. I don't see him.
Maybe he's messing with. He may be messing with the computer. Okay. Restarting everything.
All right.
I'll hit him up.
All right, so that was the whole deal.
But yeah, speaking of the refs. So yeah, this year I would say overall, I think the refs have done a poor job this season than they normally do. They're listen. Here's the deal, man. I told you guys this from the beginning of the season. We were talking about the refs. It goes both ways. I think the referees can. They have bad calls for both teams, right? Every game there's a bad call. Every game, every week.
100%.
But I think this season it's like outrageously bad calls.
Very
missing big time holes, and I don't like the whole thing they're doing this season, which is new, by the way, Curtis, where they're calling a penalty, throwing a flag, then getting together and either calling it a non-flag.
Oh yeah, I know.
Or they like call a flag late. Like I don't know if that's. I have a feeling that somebody's calling down to them, and it's not really a group, where they're all talking about it. I think it's something upstairs where they're like, "Hey, that wasn't a flag," or "Hey, you got to reverse that," and then they go ahead and reverse it. But it is what it is, man. You got to go through the motions, man. I mean, there is no. What are you going to do?
I got a bad feeling that the NFL is going to get a big black eye this season because something like the Saints from a couple of years ago is going to happen. I said that even at the beginning of this year. I saw so many calls that weren't being called in preseason, And I said, guys, this is going to come two ways. As for my Dolphins fans, I'm a Dolphin fan. It was bad for us the week before, then great for us this week. But you got to be unhappy because this is just it's a bad situation. I don't know how they could screw it up that much. All right, so then we went over your Bills last week. We don't need to talk about that. So let's get the Jets. Jets had a really good week last week. I cannot believe they beat the Giants like they did. There's some kind of I cannot believe the Jets. Jedi Kev's not here. We'll get back to it if he gets back. Is 4-3, and I do think that Rodgers is going to actually come back this season as impossible. Here he is. Here he is. The returner. We were talking about you.
You're on mute.
Now you can't hear you. Can't hear you.
Do.
I'm telling you, it's me, brother. You never have problems.
I don't know, brother.
Oh, yeah. That was a terrible call, man. It was just, I don't know.
Weird.
All right.
Well, real quick.
Keep going.
So you guys went over the Bills Buccaneers game, I'm guessing, right, from last week?
Yeah, that's another thing. Can you believe that the Jets spotted their own ball? That was crazy.
Yes, that was wild, right?
What about there was actually a play on the Dolphins. Both guys went in motion at the same time. It wasn't called. Trent Brown moved. 370 Trent Brown. False start, not called. And then there was the hit the Parker in the head. It doesn't make sense. Something does not make sense. This year, penalties have influenced wins and losses way too much. It's almost, I don't even want to think about the fix stuff or whatever. But I just don't understand how you could be that bad. It does not make any sense. But I don't want to get into that. Let's get into, what were you going to say? He's back. Hold on a second. What are you going to say?
Now, can you hear me?
You're
we
good.
hear you perfectly.
Loud and
all right.
clear.
This is why this is why they call me the Tony Starks of because I don't play nice with others. That's why I host stuff at my place, because it's the kind of thing that gets me irate. It just pisses me off. So here's my Jets. They won a fucking game they should have not beat the Giants. They were terrible. They should have never been the New York Giants. They had a lucky rabbit's foot way up their keister to win it. I hope you guys can hear me loud and clear. That's all I got to say about it.
You're perfect now, bro.
They should have not won. They should have not won that game whatsoever. That they should have lost, and they should have lost. End of the story.
So speaking of that game real quick, watching that game back, I thought Brian Dable made a big mistake a few times in that game. One, I felt like you guys weren't doing anything on offense for the most part in that game. And I know it's a controversial kind of thing, but I feel like when Tyrod went down, and I forget the quarterback who came in, he's a funny name, but when he came in, he wasn't barely throwing anything. I think he had no attempts or 0 for 4.
How are you not going to know your cousin, Tommy DeVito?
Yeah,
Tommy DeVito!
Hey, watch it, baby. So on the kick on overtime, I know most teams accept they want the ball first, but if I was the Giants on that one, I would have for sure kicked off there. You kick off there because I think you hold the Jets, you get better field position, and then you can let Saquon get some more yards and then go for a field goal, rather than start from the 20 or 25 with Tommy DeVito, knowing he's not going to throw. Every throw that he did on that first series were screen passes to our wide receiver screen passes. And they just the Jets were sniffing it out every time because they knew he wasn't going to throw the ball downfield. So I don't understand why he would have to get the ball in overtime first. I would kick that ball off, let your defense do their job like they've been doing, and hopefully you get a good return on punt, and then you let Saquon maybe work a little bit of his magic, go for a field goal, game over. I don't understand that. Like, I'm so confused.
Hold on, I got to shout out to Kev. Kev said they were going to knock out Tyrod. You called that one, brother. You called that one.
And I'm not here taking credit or flowers of seeing a guy injured. It's just the way he plays. The way Tyrod player plays, the way his built of stature, with the way the defense get after the pass rush, that's what eyes thought of Tyrod Taylor leaving the game. Now, for Tommy DeVito, I saw him in preseason. The guy could really throw the damn football. For them there not to here's the question I wanted to ask you guys. You know I like both Giants and Jets. I thought Dave Bowe coached not to lose, but he didn't also coach to win.
He's from the line of Shaky Bones. He's from the lineage of Shaky Bones.
No, he is.
That's true. Yeah, he's the founder. Shaky Bones founder.
Shaky Bones is the disciple.
I thought Dable played super conservative when he should have ran the ball on fourth down with Saquon there. Saquon was actually running good. Like, why not at least give your team an opportunity there? Because if you get a first down, it's over with. The game's pretty much over with that.
Now, point. Like, we find out that the kicker has surgery now with a bad knee.
Yes.
He's got bad knees.
Who's got bad knees?
The kicker. He has surgery. He's done.
Oh, man.
It makes sense. Makes sense why. So if you know the kicker was bad earlier in the game when it was a fourth down play, why didn't you go and get the first down?
Right.
There was a lot of questionable. If you know XYZ is happening, why not have a backup plan? I thought,
he did the same thing in Buffalo. He did the same thing in Buffalo, and that's why I couldn't stand Brian Dable.
There's something. Look, if you look at Dable, he has that fake tough guy thing. You could see there's a nervousness and instability about him. And I see the same thing with Dorsey. There's just some guys that you can look at them. You might like him, but you know they're made of steel. You know, but Shaky, Dorsey was always kind of like, he's got that it doesn't seem legit. And I just think you have to have a certain nature in the NFL. I think they got the intelligence, but I just think they're a little shaky.
He's a former quarterback, though. Dable's not a former football of anything. He's just a guy that's been in the game a while as far as I think Dorsey has that old quarterback mentality. Maybe that's why he's so strung up. But I don't know about Dable being strung out. I think just Dable he chokes in some moments. He makes some bad decisions at times.
But you could see even the thing where he had the tablet with Jones and threw it there. It's a guy who's already lost control. Well, you can't have control when you lose control. When you're a leader, you got to know everything you're doing has a ripple effect. And that brought nothing to the table. You know, and a lot of times people will say like they didn't like Brian Flores. I still liked him. I don't think, he's the greatest thing since sliced bread, but he always tried to keep everything in house. And there was a stability in the team. They couldn't rise to the heights they're raising now for many reasons, but there was a stability. And even like with McDaniel's not a tough guy, but McDaniel has a way he plays the humor thing and everything's in house. Nothing's put out on the stage. He doesn't lose his cool. Like once I saw him last year, and I think it was a Vikings game, someone pointed out, but you need that tough guy, whether it's the funny guy or the tough guy demeanor, to keep everything in house and not to shake apart. And I don't know if Dable's got that, and I don't know if Dorsey's got that.
I think Dable's
but there's been coaches though. There's been coaches that didn't have that about them, and they've been bad too. Like there's just because you don't.
No, but I'm just saying it's a platform. If you don't got it, you can have it and not be successful, but you can't not have it and be successful. You know what I mean? Like it's like just a basic leadership principle that you have to be in total control of yourself and the situation in order to set the control for the team. And so if you don't have that, you can have all kinds of stuff and, not succeed. I mean, you might have it and still not succeed because there's other things on the table, but they're just too nervous. They're just very nervous.
Here's the thing with Dable. Last year, every decision he made spiraled into good things. This year, he hasn't had that signature decision to lead him to good things. Like, for instance, that Tennessee game for the Giants. I know we're doing AFC. He went for it, and they won that game. Instead of kicking the tying field goal, or I actually was the 2-point conversion to win that game. He was doing those kind of things, and the team bought in. Now, and it's a ripple effect. And that's why I go back to the CEO of the team, having everyone do their part. But his decision making has been atrocious, and I think that's taken effect on the team. And you know what? The Jets benefited from that. They benefited from that because
I'm sure you were happy about that.
Yeah, I was like, again, I told Tommy, I said I'm torn because if the Jets win, great. Now we have a chance to go 2 games over 500. If they were to lose, Giants still alive because I like the Giants, but also the Jets have the LA Chargers coming up where you could get back to 500. But the way the AFC is shaking out with everyone so close, bunched up, I'm glad the Jets come out with that lucky win. Again, very lucky win. They didn't deserve to win that game. I'll say it as a Jet fan. They didn't deserve it.
Well, if you think about it, they should have won the KC game and got robbed.
Yeah.
So this is kind of like a little bit of a, it keeps you guys in the game. I do think Rodgers is coming back this season.
Oof.
I think he is. I think he is.
He's
I don't think he would. Yeah. It was unbelievable what he's doing. It's freakish.
And planting on that foot, Curtis. You seen that? How's he planting on that surgically repaired? My goodness. Oof. Oof.
I think it all depends on what the Jets' record is.
I agree. He said it too.
They want to just throw him in there if there's no opportunity for a while.
No. I think they're going to be. I think they're going to be. I think they're going to be around.
There's a long. Yeah, we'll see. Listen, Curtis. Anything can happen. There's a long way to go still.
All right. Well, so listen. Let's get into this week. This is the critical week because, like I said at the beginning, there's a lot of teams. It's going to start shaping things, and I don't think it's an end-all, be-all in any way, shape, or form. But if my Dolphins win, it's going to say a lot. If they lose, it's going to say something negative, but they'll still be in 6-3, but it's a big deal. Jacksonville, Baltimore, Buffalo can't afford to lose. And neither really can the Bengals at 4-3. So let's first get into the Bengals and the Bills. Tommy, you already said they're going to win, was it 34-24 or something like that?
Yeah, that's wrong.
That was a good hunch. Scott's got a good one over here. Yeah, the week of trajectories, man. I like that. That was a good one. I'm gonna steal that and say it was mine.
I see this week is where the men, where you see the men separate from the boys. This is the time of the year where you're gonna see the haves and the have-nots. All those cliches because now we're getting this. It's November. The weather's gonna start changing. Now we're gonna see the team's depth because we're seeing a lot of key injuries across the whole entire league now. We're going to see crazy. who has the depth, who's going to bring in, who drafted well and stored away players in their practice squad to be elevated. So this is going to be an interesting part of the next 4 weeks. You start seeing that separation on who's going to be the cream of the crop in the playoff race. So this is, like you said, this week is a very, very important week, not just because it's November, because we're getting close to around the midway part. And now we're going to start seeing the separations. Let's see which teams are going to rise with that. And I like the slate of games that you were talking about. So let's roll right in.
Really good.
Yeah.
All right. So
what game we starting with?
Yeah, we'll start with you, Tommy. Why not?
All right, start with
You're the low man on the totem pole. Oh, no, I'm sorry. The Jets are. You're the second low man on the totem pole.
For now, I mean, by the way, everything could change this weekend.
Oh, yeah. Totally.
So
I'm just busting your balls, baby. You know that.
Yeah, listen, we've been down this road 3 straight seasons.
Anyway, my Dolphins are going to win this week, and you're going to lose, and then we're going to be on for the semi-perfect season. It'll be the semi-perfect season.
So we're going Cincy. This is a rematch, obviously, the playoff disastrous loss. But not only that, it is where it all happened, the Damar Hamlin incident. So it's going to be one of those games, where they're gonna talk about that. I'm sure they're gonna do a little pregame thing with that as well. But we did some additions that we didn't talk about, which was the trade deadline, and we did add some key pieces. I felt like on this team, Rasul Douglas from the Green Bay Packers was an excellent pickup for us. We needed a corner, and that's a very good cornerback to fill in for us for right now. That was a dire need position. I don't know if he'll play, but I have a feeling he will, but it just maybe limited snap counts. And then we also picked up Linval Joseph, who is a mountain of a man. He's
not much pass rush, but a good run stopper.
And that's what we needed. What was our weak spot right now?
Yeah.
Teams are gashing us. He is a guy that can, man, I'm telling you. take on 2 offensive linemen, and that's when Ed Oliver and the rest eat.
Well, he was a free agent, or did someone cut him?
He was a free agent. He was a free agent. He actually played for Philadelphia last year. Went to the Super Bowl with them, with Sue. He is actually they picked Sue and him up last year. But listen, I know he's aging, but man, the dude still has it. Former Pro Bowler, and like I said, this isn't a 10-year contract. It's a 1-year contract. It's a guy that fills in while Daquan Jones is rehabbing. Yeah, that's also. I don't think that's a bad pickup at all. We needed that. He may play as well on Sunday. And then Leonard Fournette, I know that's like a lot of people are like, listen, Leonard Fournette still has a little bit of juice in the tank. And
if you decide to run the football, unless you do the draw.
If we do it right, exactly. That's a great point. You got to run it right.
Bust them balls.
I agree. Listen, you're not busting my balls. You think I like it? I think everyone can agree with you there. But I still like the pickup, regardless of what we do. Because I just don't think Harris will be back. So you have to have that running back for short yardage.
Oh, you don't think he's gonna be? I thought they said it was something very small. It was just
no. It was small. He went out in a cart, so he had a neck injury.
No, they said he was out of the hospital, and they were even saying he played a week later.
I know, but that doesn't mean he'll be ready. So
that's a shame.
Hyde was out of hospital. Yeah. So now that doesn't mean I could be wrong, and he could be back. But right now he's out with a concussion and the neck. So will he be back? We'll see. But either way, they picked up Fournette for a reason. There's no way they're just gonna pick him up and then dump him. So it's gonna be interesting. So last week I felt like the up-tempo offense, what we did in the first half, it was more of our style. Going to 11 personnel, getting Dalton Kincaid more involved. We looked a little bit better in that first half, though we slowed down in the second half, and that's Sean McDermott going conservative. Hopefully it continues this week where we're up-tempo, moving the ball, running the ball more, and we keep that going in the second half. We don't just stop. And I think we win this game if we keep an up-tempo offense, 11 personnel. You saw what Khalil Shakir can do.
What do you think about what Roy is saying here? What do you think about what Roy is saying here about your Bills?
Yes, 100%. So Linval Joseph is a one tech. That's what he does. And I 100%. And I love Jordan Phillips. By the way, I love Jordan Phillips. But right now, Jordan Phillips hasn't played good this year. Linval Joseph is a true one tech. And yeah, I 100% he would start over Jordan Phillips. Now, will he start like right away over him? Probably not, because it has to get used to the defense. That might take a game or two, but it depends, man. He said he went and started for the Eagles right away. So it depends on the coach. If the coach is comfortable enough to throw him in there, he's going to throw him in there. Same with Russell Douglas. Russell Douglas, by the way, plays his own. So he says he's used to the defense. He's ready to go too. So we'll see what happens when it comes to those two. I have a feeling you'll see both on the field on on Sunday night. Also, Kaiir Elam's on the IR, and I don't think you'll see Kaiir Elam for the rest of the season.
All right, let me hit this brother up right here in a second. We'll talk Dolphin real quick here. Because, why? We're the studs of the division, so why not, right? Having Holland Ramsey in the secondary is huge. Nick Needham, Cater in the nickel. I see a few coverage sacks. Chubb, Phillips, Van Ginkel. Hey, you know what? It looks really good for us. But this game is going to be a really big tell as far as where my Dolphins are at.
I'll tell you why it will tell. For one, Curtis, I'll be honest with you. I'm not talking shit. But this is your third. Would it be fair to say this is your third strongest opponent that you faced this year?
Yeah,
your strongest. The Chargers, I don't count them because their defense is just awful at times. So I'm just saying your strongest opponents. Would you say right now up to date would be who that you faced? The Dolphins.
The best team.
The best opponents that you guys have faced.
Oh, it'd be Bills, KC, and Eagles.
Bills, KC, exactly. So what happened with the Bills and Eagles game?
Bills are the last of the three.
Listen, you didn't look good in both games against top tier opponents, right? If you guys look good, no, listen, I'm just saying, if you don't look good against the Chiefs and you get blown out, like you got blown out against the Bills and the Eagles, then yeah, there's going to be a lot of talk, and it's well deserved because that goes to show you that when you're paying the better opponents, you struggle against the better opponents, just like the Bills struggle against the lesser opponents for some odd reason. So I'm just throwing that out there. This is an important game for you guys because I think this is a matchup once again, that could go really, in the Chiefs' favor because of the offense, and your defense hasn't really proven against better teams that you can hold a team like that under 30. So that's all I'm saying. It's going to be an interesting weekend for you, Curtis. It really will be. And that's a tough team, man. When they get rolling, good luck.
I never talk down to the Bills. I've been supporting the Bills since the beginning, man. But I do talk down to Tommy because Tommy's been busting my chops when my Dolphins sucked for 2 years. So it's my turn to get a little fun in there, Tim. It's nothing personal here. I love these guys.
I never said that.
Making fun of Tua now.
Stop
it. But all right, so I'll answer your thing. I want to get back to the Bills quick.
Yeah, go for it.
But no, to me, I don't buy into all that stuff because you never know when a team can come together. So let's say Dolphins lose to KC. All right.
Bad.
Well, okay, whatever. To me, a loss is a loss. It doesn't really matter.
It is, but
so that then they go into the bye, they get health, and then you don't know what's going to happen down the road. We could play the Bills, and in 1 week, all of a sudden, Josh Allen, I love Josh Allen, but let's say he gets hurt, and then we beat him, and we end up winning the division. And then all of a sudden, you got a home field advantage. It's a nice day. And then you're going against a team that struggles against passing, and you win, and you're in the second. Anything can happen. Yeah. That's why I hate.
I get that.
Look, from an optic standpoint, it would suck for us to lose. From an optic standpoint, we need to win. But, it's the game. I watch the Dolphins for years, and it's every week to week. You go in the Super Bowl, you're losing. You go in the Super Bowl, you're losing. Same with your Bills. Like right now, your Bills are in the toilet, and people are not even talking about them. But all it takes is my team to lose, you to win, and all of a sudden something happens.
Oh, yeah.
And we need to win that one from an optic standpoint. It would suck to lose that. But even if we lose by a small amount, like if we get blown out, then I would have a little concern. I'd be like, whoa.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but
I'm not saying to worry like you guys are a bad team if you lose. I'm just saying like my point is if you face 3 tough opponents and you got blown out by all 3, then you have to question the team.
I don't think we got blown out by the Eagles, man. We got blown out by the Eagles and the refs. That would have probably been like a 4-point game.
It goes both ways, though.
I know, but I'm saying we didn't get blown out. And then when we played you, we didn't have Tehran went down, and we didn't have Connor. So I mean, it's kind of we'll see how it plays out. But anyway, so what are your keys? We'll get into the Jets next. What are your keys for this Bills versus the Bengals? I know I see my keys clearly, but I don't know if you're going to be able to get to them. So what are your keys to this game?
Talking about me? Or are you talking
about
Okay.
The Kev will be next.
Real simple. Up-tempo offense. Keep it up-tempo to start the game. I want to see Murray start the game out like they've been doing. Get him the ball early. Don't just shotgun draw it or shotgun, play action with him. Use him early to break down that defensive line and then sprinkle Cook in there. That's what I want to see. But I do want to see up-tempo. I want to see guys getting involved like Dalton Kincaid, more of a route tree given for him, more trust going his way. On defense, you got to get after Burrow. You have to get after Burrow. You cannot let Burrow sit back there in the pocket and give him time or he's going to eat you alive, plain and simple. There's no other way around it. If you get after him, you know that Burrow can make some mistakes and he can make some costly ones. Look at this season. His worst games were when teams were getting pressure on him. Just put pressure on him, and I think we'll be all right, man.
Well, that's the thing. Can you see how bad Brown's not playing well? This offensive line with all their investments is coming up very, 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 very small, very small. So I like your keys. Kev? What do you think, man? What's your take on the game, and what's your keys?
Well, for Buffalo to win this game, they have to control the line of scrimmage. Not have the Bengals always giving pressure to Allen. Allen, when the numbers get hot, when the temperature gets hot, he becomes the greatest baker, giving fresh turnovers to the opponents. And that cannot happen. But they have good running backs.
Get down on my man Tommy.
You better not
But-
upset me.
They've got a lot of good running backs. I'm glad, with Fournette, I wanted to bring, that was a good acquisition. You bring Fournette, who could help out on the blitz, who could buy that extra time for a good pocket for Allen to get enough time to get the ball thrown either to the tight end
That's a
or
great
to
point,
Diggs.
by the way, because Cook can't.
And
that's one
great.
thing bad about Cook, by the way. Like that, I don't like. He's not a good pass protection. He's terrible at it.
He's too small, man.
He's
Look. Listen, I'm gonna tell you. I remember. Look, I was in like semi-pro in college for like a minute, and I was 185 pounds in high school. I could bully guys, but I stopped playing because I want to smoke a lot of weed and drink. So I came back 2 or 3 years later. I got it back out to my 185. And one of the early times I got the ball in like a little scrimmage, inter-team scrimmage. I go through the line, and there's a DT, he's 320 that I drive home every day. I see him there, and I'm feeling myself. I decide to truck him. I hit him, and it was like hitting a wall. I'd never seen a guy that big in high school, and I had never gone against somebody that big. It was such a different world, and I was 185. He was 320. And then when you try to, and then we had linebackers that were like 6'2", 240. They were getting, there was like the idiot team where they would farm guys out for Florida. And I try to pass protect those guys, man. And I was strong, but man, you can't be 180, 185 and try to take on these linebackers and safeties, a full head of steam. I mean, you'd have to be immaculate to take a that. I mean, it's just very hard.
Well,
So,
that's why he has a good, like, that's why Fournette and Murray are just much better.
Yeah. It's so much easier when you're bigger. It's so much easier, man.
Yeah. But
that's why they don't get guys like me in the league.
Even Harrison Shorter was still stockier. His build was different.
Yeah.
Even Devin Singletary, who was 5'9", was 220 pounds. He was big, like he was a bulky little dude. But James Cook just doesn't have the lower body. He's just
But he's got the speed, man. That guy's lightning.
The speed, but that's my point. Like, you get Murray in there and Fournette and kind of work that defensive line, kind of break them down a little bit. Then you can get Cook going in that second, third, fourth quarter where the defense is tired. They're broken down a little bit. That's why I love to see Cook. But early on in the game, I much prefer Murray or Fournette to be in there, man. But once again, we don't do it right, even when they're in there. And to your point, Curtis, it's just like shotgun play action, shotgun draw.
Oh, that play action stuff kills me, man.
Oh,
I have like PTSD after watching your team for like 3 years now.
Me.
Oh man,
that's where Leonard Fournette is going to help. That's where he's going to help. He's going to help even if he's not on the field with techniques or talk to the running backs. Maybe try this kind of block or be in this position. That veteran leadership from him is going to help the Buffalo Bills going forward. And Allen, that's why they made that move. So that's a very underrated room. And the other move that they bought the nose tackle out there for the run stop. Buffalo's got to look at their upcoming schedule. They have a lot of teams that are going to run the football, and it's going to be in November, December when
really
the weather changes.
Really good point, Kev.
So that's a great pickup for the Buffalo Bills at the trading deadline. Underrated, but still a good point. You always want to have team depth in those positions of really where you're weak. So I like Buffalo beating the Bills. I'm beating the Bengals this week. I got Buffalo winning this. It's good. That AFC is going to be tight, man. Tighter than a duck's ass, and that's waterproof.
All right, so I'm going to get into it quick. I usually am the run guy, and I get down on the Bills when they don't run. But I think this week, when you look at the secondary of the Bengals, there's something going on there. They're just not what they've been for a while. Right. There's something going. And I think Kincaid, who I said, I wasn't too high on him for getting drafted, not because of his talent. I knew he could do that, but I just didn't think he would help you in that certain area. I don't think that area is going to play out big this week where you're going to need to run block. And so I think what you were saying is right, Tommy. You're going to pass. I think you're going to win. This Bengal team's tough, but there's something not right that's going on there. They could pull it. They're a scrappy team. They're a team that could lose, and then all of a sudden a couple of weeks from now, they're in it again. Right. So I do think that the Bills will win, and I think they're not going to really. You just can't do that draw stuff all day. You're all the tight ends too, and he's pretty good. He's pretty good he's a pretty decent.
Quentin Morris
Yeah.
will be back, so that's a good, and I think Dawson Knox will return this season at some point, and he's a good blocking tight end too. But yeah, Quentin Morris return is big for that as well.
Oh, I got to answer this because where is it? Where is it? Oh man, somebody had a play action thing. Where is it?
It's right up. Play action doesn't work.
Oh yeah, this is my thing, man. I'm old school. I'm finding out some holes in my game. As far as seeing, hey, what some of this old stuff's got to kind of, like my Dolphins are kind of teaching me in some ways that some of the concepts that I have, they're kind of changing a little bit. But yeah, play action works 1,000 times better when you're on the center. You put that ball and then you turn your back to the defense, and then the guys lose their reads, and then the keys get slowed down. And depending on the quarterback's skill set and what you're calling, everything is enhanced when that ball is not seen. But when you do it from shotgun, everybody can see it because of the angle. And I just don't know why the Bills do it. I just think they would be, I've been saying it for years, they would be so much more served working on the center at least 50% of the time. I know it's a little old school, but I think with Allen and what you're trying to get done, I think it would work better with that.
Not only that,
his numbers are great under center, by the way, in play action. He's one of the better.
Yeah, I know.
In the NFL. So I don't like that. That's what's frustrating for me is like Ken Dorsey, like even Dable, just whatever, both freaking OCs. It's like they know and see stats just like everyone else, like all his fans.
Not rocket science.
Right. And everyone's telling him, man, look at these numbers. Look how Allen plays under center. Look at this. Look, when we do this, it works. And it's like almost like they want to prove that what they're doing can work to the point where they're going to shove it down your throats until it doesn't finally work. I don't know, because it's never working. So
you don't get called a genius when you run the football and you live off play action.
Right. Or you'll go into a game. It's like, and Dabo was king of it. The Bills should be running in this game because it's 35-mile-per-hour winds and snowing like crazy. And then Dable's like, you know what? I'm going to throw 55 times. Because
you called it right last year, man. With that, you called it right. You got a cold weather stadium, and then you got a warm weather dome team offense. Totally.
That's how they built them. But I do think I will say I'll credit Brandon Beane this offseason for. It looks like he's starting to maybe change that narrative a little bit by the guys he added. So if you look at,
I like McDermott so far this season too. What he's calling, I
like him, but I gotta say he also though he chokes in some situations.
He's got a little shaky.
He is 100%. No, there is no doubt about that. He goes conservative when he shouldn't. He calls timeouts when he shouldn't. Back clock management. When games get tight, he folds, and you can't have that as a head coach, and that's the problem with Sean McDermott. Other than that, I think he's done a really good job considering.
Yeah, he did an immaculate job against the Dolphins, man. I know we didn't have the linemen and stuff, right? But I think he, so
no. But even in general, there, Curtis, go back and look at the key injuries, right? So you got Trey White out, you got Matt Milano out, you got Daquan Jones out, right? 3 key pieces in 3 different areas of the defense, and our defense has not been the reason why, for the most part, we've been losing games. It's the offensive struggles that is not helping the defense. Like sometimes your offense has to step up, or your defense has to step up for you're struggling one or the other, right? But week after week, it's been the offense, and the defense can only do so much with the limitations they have, right? So I just feel like the offense is really what's keeping this team down.
Yeah, I just want to answer something. I actually want to do a little defense of your team. I'm going to get a bad taste in my mouth, and I might have to drink some booze later to forget I did it. But no, to me, I don't think Allen's choking at all. I don't think so either. I personally think that the guy is in a low grade framework for his talents. It's similar to when people were saying Tua was no good, and I kept saying a framework. Every single player, I don't care if you're the lineman, you're the punter, whoever you are, you've got to have the right framework to accentuate your skills. And obviously, you can see when you look at everything from the film to the numbers. Now, his skill set's not being accentuated. He's not meant to run Dan Marino's offense. That's what they're trying to get him to do. He's the kind of guy that needs a balanced approach, work the play action. that guy's on a bad shoulder. He's carried this team for a while. If anybody, to me, the number one guy I would say is Dorsey, and then Dable have limited this team. And then obviously whoever made the call in that 13 seconds with the Chiefs game.
That was probably McDermott.
So
from all the rumors
Johnny.
and the way he plays. If you go back even last week, Curtis, the week before against the Patriots, we took the lead, right? Under 2 minutes, and I text Mikey, by the way, my co-host. I'm like, well, here's an opportunity for McDermott to show that him taking over as DC was a good thing, right? Here's a situation where he can win the game for the team, right? The defense could step up against a poor, terrible Patriots offense. Let's be real. They're averaging 12 points a game. Mac Jones is one of the worst quarterbacks in the NFL, starting quarterbacks. And you let them drive down the field 75 yards with ease and score a touchdown. That's on McDermott. That's 100% on McDermott. Now, obviously, players missing tackles too. That's on players as well. But McDermott tends to fold in big moments, and it happens a lot. It happens in the playoffs. It happened in 13 seconds, and it's tough. And that goes back to the head coach. Ultimately, everything, including Ken Dorsey and all the coaching staff, it all goes back to the head coach. I mean, it all starts there. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, this is his season, man. I think
it's my last season as far as me supporting him as head coach, but I don't think it's the last season as McDermott as head coach. I think the owners love him. I think he's here for a while, but I just it's tough, man. It is tough year after year seeing the same mistakes. That's what drives me nuts. You know what I mean? It's not like it just seems like the same thing over and over. And it's tough, man. It's tough to watch sometimes.
All right, so we got three having the Bills win, and if the Bills do win, that's we're gonna find out obviously who wins the Dolphins game first. But they've got if the Dolphins win, and then you lose, it's gonna make it very, very tough to get that divisional title, man. It's not impossible, obviously, but it's going to be very tough. So I think this is an absolutely critical game. But we all got you winning. And since we're all very, very smart, absolutely brilliant football minds, I think I guess the Bills will win. All right, so let's get on to Jedi Kev. Jedi Kev needs to talk. Jedi Kev comes up with some great stuff week after week. Let's do the Jets next. Chargers versus the Jets. Staley, the stinky Staley, is coming to New York to beat the Jets. What do you think, Kev?
Well, first of all, I wanted to before we get to the Jets, I just wanted to say real quick with the play action, the way the linebackers are so quicker and so fast. That's why they need to go on the center. With you, like you said, that 2 seconds they drop back, that 3 seconds, they could see and make that adjustment if it's pass or run. I wanted to bring that because I didn't get a chance to speak here, but now I'm going to get my pound of flesh here with it.
You run with it, Kev. Run with it, baby.
So the way the linebackers are so fast and so quick and agile, I think that's why that shotgun formation with the play action doesn't work. When you drop back, you can hide the ball into your hip, where that 2 seconds of hesitation on a linebacker. Do I go in? Do they commit to attack the run, or they're going to go back in coverage? That's why the play action understanding works. So I want to get back. I digress. I got my pound.
Yeah, keep going.
Let's go with this Jets. This Jets game against the Chargers coming in cross county. They're going across the country on a Monday night. We're a hostile environment in the Jet Life Stadium. The coach doesn't know if he's coaching his last game, doesn't know if he lost the team. A lot of folks are saying Herbert is overrated, he's lost, whatever the case. All the negativity for once is on the Chargers. It worries me a little bit on the Jets that way, but this is the second game in a row where you don't apologize. Like I told you, Curtis, don't apologize for your victories. I think the Jets take care of business with their pass rush. And believe it or not, I think, and it sounds crazy, but I think Wilson is going to actually open up the offense or throw. I think he's going to surprise us. I think it's time now where he's got to. Even if you lose to the Chargers, you're at 500. You gotta show here if he could throw the football going forward. So this is a good team to experiment or to take a chance to throw the football and see what you got. And you got to live with a couple turnovers from Zach Wilson. so be it, because we have the defense that could do it. We have the defense that could compensate if he makes those type of mistakes. So this game here I like the Jets winning this one, but it's not going to be as comfortable as we think it is. The score is going to be, I think they win by 10, but it's not going to be like the way we think it is. They'll get a cheap touchdown or something to add on to make it comfortable, a 10-point win, in my opinion.
Kev, what do you think about is Herbert the issue or coaching the issue?
I think it's a little bit of coaching, Roy. I think if he gets himself in a system that accentuates his strength and keep it simple, I think he could be a real good quarterback in this league. He didn't get that money for nothing, not for being cute. He got it for his skill set. So I think it has to do with the right coaching and you know, the guy could coach, the guy could play. It's just it'll be interesting to see what they do in the offseason, who they bring in to Los Angeles to coach that kid up. That's my point there. But listen, I would love to have Herbert on my team right now. You give me Herbert on this team with that defense, we'll be pounding our chest a little more, or being a little more insufferable.
If you get an offensive line.
Well, they bought that kid from former Buffalo Bill. Tommy, I'm going to ask you that. Tell me about this kid. Obviously, he didn't cut the mustard for the Bills for some reason. What am I expecting for him coming in here? And also, Dwayne Brown gets elevated. It's get off the injured list.
What quarterback did you get? I'm not sure which one.
No, the linebacker. The offensive lineman from Buffalo. Big guy, 350 pounds. I'll find his name in a minute. His name is escapes me.
Saffold.
I believe
Roger
so.
Saffold?
I'll find it right now. Yeah, I believe so. He was your former lineman from you guys.
Oh, if you got Saffold, that's a good signing.
I think it's Saffold, but he hasn't played in a while, and he wasn't that good last year with us.
Yeah, but he's a run guy. He's a run guy.
He's a vet. He's a run. Yeah, he's a run. He's more of a run blocker.
And that's all you guys are going to be doing pretty much with Wilson.
Correct.
For the most part.
So, no, it's not a terrible pickup, but he hasn't played in it, so I have no idea.
What shape he's in and what shape and what. But he's known for what?
Totally different. Run blocker.
So he's known to be a run blocker. Okay, so they're running. They're getting Mekhi Becton. I think they're gonna move him back to the left side or on the and they're gonna Brown is gonna go to the right side, vice versa. Titman looks like he's gonna play, so that's a big a boost in the offensive line. But I want them to pass the football. I would love them to get under center. And personally, that's a team that will work the play action, Curtis, because you're run heavy. Plus, I like their running backs to block the extra man from Hall, from Cook, from Carter. They all give that extra second to Zach to throw, but they don't call too much of the pass plays here. Sometimes, you know what? I would love the Jets to emulate a little bit of the San Francisco offense. Throw something underneath. We have enough talent where we could get yards after the catch and utilize a stud that we have in Garrett Wilson. And I know we get frustrated with that because they got to find out if Wilson is going, if they could ride on his shoulders. They got to be, look, there's got to be a game that Zach Wilson has to win by throwing the football. And it wasn't the Giant game. I don't want to hear it was the Giant game. He made 2 passes. Yeah, whatever. We got to find out if Zach Wilson could throw the football. And he could throw the football down and out, but they just don't put him in that situation.
Here's a good comment. All-purpose yards. I don't see the Jets winning the trenches against LA and passing heavy against Boston Mac with the Jets. OTs would be a catastrophe. Now that's the big complication I see is that
I can see that
the Chargers are, I think, 6th best against the run, but 32nd against the pass, and they play a lot of man. So they're going to have guys. They're going to blitz. It's going to have to come down to what you were saying with an actual play action and making a few big chunk plays. But because you can't just pass too much against them.
No.
They can get it. I watched them against my Dolphins. We had Jackson and Lamb week 1, which, they're not stellar or whatever, but the Chargers would get that pressure, but just not quick enough because Tua's getting it all out fast. But I don't know if Wilson's going to have the processing speed to get that ball out.
I agree with you.
And then not going to porpoise yard. Sorry, brother. I'm doing too many things at once. I'm a one line guy here. That was a good one. All porpoise. But the thing though with the Chargers they struggle to get pressure interior. Mm-hmm. And so I don't know. It's going to be very interesting as far as evaluations go. But it's going to be hard to run that football. But I do think from what I've seen is you're going to be able to affect them with your defense. And it's just, will Wilson get that turnover? And will he play smart? Will he process fast enough? I don't know.
I say this.
That was a good point, though.
If the Jets utilize their Conklin and their tight ends, they have 3 good tight ends on there. If they could get those short passes to the tight ends, if Zach could read that and get that, and if that's the word, if my aunt had balls, she'll be my uncle. So that's the big one. If I agree with you on that.
Right.
That's funny. All right. So, did we all go over the Jets here?
No, Tommy. I want to hear Tommy's story.
Tommy, get in there, Tommy.
Man, this is a tough one because the Jets defense is legit. I think this game's going to kind of be sort of like the Eagles-Jets game. It's going to be close.
I can see that.
And I'm going to go with the Chargers, but it wouldn't shock me if the Jets wind up getting a turnover and the Jets defense wins this game for them. I'm still not a fan of Zach Wilson. Last week, the Giants defense is not very good. 17-36, 240. It's not going to do it. You know what I mean? I guess the Chargers are going to bring that blitz. They're going to put pressure in his face. Bosa and Mac. And I think that's going to throw him off. And I think the key to victory for the Jets is they're going to have to run, and let their defense just get them in good field position and get your points, man. Get your field goals, whatever you got to do. But I don't think this is going to be a high-scoring game. I think it's going to be one of those games just like it's going to come down to the fourth quarter and who's going to make the last mistake. Is it going to be Wilson? Is it going to be Herbert? Right? So I'll take the Chargers, and I'll say something like 24-20. But it could go either way. It really could.
It's such a weird. I really need to sit down and study the teams, but I just feel like that Staley is going to screw it up. I think this could be like a 17-20 type game. I don't see the Chargers going to be able to run the football enough to keep balance. I think that, Herbert's going to move to make things happen, but maybe not enough and make that big play. I don't know. I think it's going to be under 20 points.
That's fair.
If the Jets win, though, man, can you imagine if the Jets win concerning what they've gone through? I mean, 5-3.
Defensive team. Right?
Unbelievable. If they can keep doing I hate the Jets. I despise the Patriots the most. And then the Jets would be next, followed by the Bills.
Naturally.
But I got to say, if this Jets wins this week and they kind of balance it out with wins and losses over the next couple of weeks, you've got to rate this defense as one of the best we've seen in a very, very long time. I don't know if we're there yet, but, man, that would be unbelievable stuff. I'll say the Jets are going to win. I think there's something – weird karmic thing brewing. You got on the what's that show they got with the not inside the NFL. It's my day back in the old day when they watch you through camp. What's that thing called?
Hard Knocks.
Hard Knocks. They got Hard Knocks, and then they got the Hard Knocks after 4 plays. And now you're seeing this crazy thing with Rodgers getting himself healthy and the team staying in there. I think there's like a little karmic thing brewing where this team is going to actually have some viability at the end of the season. I think you're going to see Rodgers come back. I don't know what's going to happen there, but I just feel this weird stuff turning. So I'm going to say Jets win 2017.
Yeah. I mean, remember
it was.
LA is going across country, man. They're going across country on a primetime game.
And that's shitty ass field of yours.
It's a terrible.
Tommy, that's rude.
I've said it myself. I've said it myself from the very before game 1 of this regular season. I told you that stadium is a terrible stadium.
Thank God
I told you that.
Go there again.
I told you.
That's
nothing. The Dolphins got to come in there too.
Oh, good luck to you.
Sinestro, there you go. That's true. I guess there's not a lot on the table for them. Anyway, so where we at? I got lost on these
The
comments.
head coaches. Who do you have here with the head coaches to make a right play or call in this game on nationally televised here when the game on the line?
Staley's a nitwit. But then I'm not I'm not a big fan of your OC, but I do like Sal. I think he's shown a ton of real leadership to pull this thing together. So there's something going. Like I said, there's something going. Staley is there's something wrong with Staley. I think upstairs there's something wrong there, and I don't know why. So I would say Salah and you guys to make the right move.
Yeah, I'll go with the same thing.
Yeah, that's what gives me a little bit of a calm, a little bit not too cocky, not too arrogant, not too confident, but just a little bit of a calm. I know I got the better head coach there. And his defense, him calling the defense with his defense coordinator and our special teams. Very underrated. I know we don't talk about it on our shows or on our program breaking down. Jets quietly have one of the best special teams, best punter in the game, who makes the field position short, where that defense could salivate there and not get into long drives and shorten the field. If they play that game field position where the special teams and the gunner, we have a gunner that just gets down there and make great open field tackles, shorten the game, and that's a big plus there. So the Jets, we're missing on offense, yes, but they're getting complementary football from the special teams to go hand in hand with the defense. So that's why I feel a little confident on this naturally televised game, why they might come on top. But it's not going to be something where I'm going to be here comfortable. I'm going to be a little bit nervous, but I think that's why I at the end of the day, I think they'll prevail in my opinion. This is my case on why the Jets win.
Well, speaking of the Dolphins, let's talk about the big game of the week.
Ooh, Germany.
I know there's a lot of Dolphins fans here who want to talk about Miami Dolphins and their semi-perfect season that looks like it might be brewing. Dolphins KC. Hot to trot game in my fatherland, the Deutschland of Germany.
Yeah, Germany.
Everyone thinks I'm Italian. I'm from New York. That means if you're from New York, you're Italian just by your voice. Doesn't mean it's your vernacular. I mean, it's your genetic history. Let me see. Deutsche Bank Park has a retractable roof that will most likely be closed. It should be warmer than outside. No wind. Yeah, that's great. I think it's great for both teams, but probably better for us than them. So Tommy. I know in your heart of hearts you've told me you love Dan Marino. You respect Dan Marino.
I do.
Yeah, but where you from, Beth? Where you from, Beth?
Absolutely. I think Dan Marino's one of the best.
Oh, wait, hold on. We got Beth says, I'm from New York and I don't sound like that. Where you from, Beth?
Wow. Hey, Connie says not.
Are you in Buffalo? Oh, that's why. That's not even New York.
That's New York, right over here.
That's like the farmland I got attached to the urban areas.
I want
We needed someone to send us food. Anyway, I'm sorry, Tommy. I got off on a beaten path over here. You know that. Fine. I love you too, Beth. You know
it's totally fine. Oh my God.
I don't even know where I'm at right now. I forgot. What were we talking about? The Dolphins.
Semi-perfect Dolphins, season. Dan Marino, and then we were talking New York accents.
Yeah. So you were about to say the Dolphins were going to win and continue their ride to greatness.
No.
I think that's
what
you're going to say, Tommy.
I will say this. Why haven't teams learned from the Buffalo Bills and traveling overseas? The Chiefs got there Friday. I mean, I don't get it. The Titans did the same thing right after us, and they looked like dog shit. To start that game, you could tell they were exhausted. And then the Chiefs go ahead and do the same damn thing. I think the Dolphins got there on Tuesday, I believe. So they've been there a minute, touring Germany, having a blast. And the Chiefs get there late. They're going to be spent. But I still think the Chiefs are going to win this game.
Whoa, Tommy, you're breaking up, Tommy. I gotta say goodbye to Tommy. He's leaving now.
Listen. I still don't like your defense. I just don't. I know you guys got Ramsey back, but you're going against a different beast in Mahomes. And Andy Reid is let's be real, is an offensive genius, and he's a hell of a coach. And then Travis Kelce also is arguably the best tight end in the game. So you're going against a really good offense that's been together a long, long time. A lot of speed as well on their team. Now they're not as deep as you guys as far as receivers go, but the Chiefs have always been like that since they lost Hill, and they still won a Super Bowl. So, listen, they are the defending Super Bowl champions. When they are on. They are a tough team to beat. If they come out sluggish, then yeah, I could see Miami definitely winning this game, 100%. But I think their offense will do enough, and I think this is a close game, but I think the Chiefs win, and I'm gonna say 33-30.
All right, that's a nice score. So Kev, Tommy thinks Miami's going to win 33-30.
No.
That's one in Miami's corner. Where you at, brother?
First of all, if I'm McNerd, I'm sending Andy Reid some bratwursts, some of those kibatzes, some of those delicious German cuisines there, so he could be stuffing his face. No, this is going to be if the dome is closed, and this is going to be a close. I like Miami with their speed and their top tempo to cause the Chiefs a lot of this miscommunication in the secondary and the linebacker core. So I think, to be honest with you, I'm taking Miami to win this game, man. I just think Miami, like you said, something with the traveling, with the Chiefs coming in. Mahomes, how well is he really recovered from the flu? Is he ready to go? All those questions, traveling with just coming off of the flu and being quarantined, all that good stuff. I like Miami. I think they're going to be so quicker. They're going to be a notch above, and I'm taking the Miami to win 27-17 in Germany.
Wow, I like you, Kev. You can come back. Tommy, I don't know, 50-50. 50-50, Tommy. All right, so that's a pretty dominant victory. I mean, if the Dolphins actually pull that kind of victory off, that says a ton. Going into the bye week, smart Jets fans, yeah. He's real smart, man. You're the smartest guy I know.
It's just that speed. You got so much talent there on the wide receiver, and the Chiefs haven't shown anything in the secondary. That's why I see it that way, and it's going to be grass. And that's the only reason why I see that. And I think the Chiefs are going to take a step back. Even they're just not there yet. I don't see that. I think, the league has caught up to the Chiefs, in my opinion. That's why I like Miami.
So for me, it's very, very intriguing on many levels. And I've never had, from week one all to now, I've kind of knew how everything was going to play out. But from Tuesday on, I started getting the butterflies because I'm a fan, because I've been waiting my whole life for this. And I don't know if my evaluations are fandom or not. I'm very concerned. I think this is a game not about Mahomes and Tua. I think the two best units on the field is the Chiefs defense and the Dolphins offense. And I think that's going to be where this game's won or lost. I think Fangio is going to limiting a KC offense. They've got Mahomes. They've got talent. They're going to put points on. Fangio is not like a stop style defense. It's like, all right, we're going to give you your points, bend up, but don't break. We'll get that big pick or the big sack at the right moment, and we'll kind of limit you to about 20-something points. So I think he's going to limit the KC offense, and they're going to limit themselves a little bit. They have some weaknesses there. The guy, what's his face, they got from the Jaguars, he loves to hold. He loves to go false start. I don't know if the ref's going to give it to him all day, because it's going to be tough with Phillips on the edge.
Oh, that guy's ridiculous. Yeah, that guy holds.
Juwan Taylor or whatever it is.
Yeah,
so
it's craziness.
I like what Fangio is going to be able to do. I think there's going to be, X is probably going to be back. You're going to have Holland, Ramsey a second week. But to me, it's, will this Dolphins offense, is Teron going to be in? Is Connor going to be in? Are they going to be in all game? Hunt's not going to be in. So if they're not in, Teron's, so how they're doing like this kind of thing, and Teron and Connor's not in, then it's going to be very, very tough. I don't see it. But if Connor's in and even Teron's not, I kind of like our chances. Then when you put Teron in, I like the chances a little bit higher. But I was so impressed with KC. They went against Detroit, which has got a very good offense, and they went against Minnie, both with good offensive lines and receiving talent, and they jammed, pressed, played man, and blitzed, and they were fearless. And so for me, it's going to come down to, will the Dolphins be able to beat that? I know they're going to some. You cannot limit Hill, Waddle, and Tua. But is it going to be enough? Are they going to get the pressure in there? So to me, it's going to be these two defenses. Spagnuolo is an unbelievable DC. And will the Dolphins be able to run? KC's weakness is the run game, especially on the interior. Will the Dolphins be able to run, stick with the run, play balanced, and put more points? I think this is going to be like 20, 31, 27, 27, 24, something like that. I see it like the Chargers.
Back and forth.
Chargers play almost a very similar defense.
That's great. That's a great call. What you just said there. Chargers, Dolphins.
I said it. Of course, it's great.
No, but I'm saying I could definitely see the game going down like that. The only difference was the Chargers choked at the end.
Yeah,
will Pat Mahomes choke like the Chiefs offense choke if they have the ball less. They have been known to not choke in big moments when they have the ball. So I could that's why I said 33-30. I think it could come down. The Dolphins can win 33-30. I'm just saying, I think it's going to be a high scoring, close game.
Yeah, I do too. But it's going to be very interesting because the Dolphins, I studied them out like a madman. When they're under 2.3 seconds, they get the ball off so fast. It's so hard to stop them and even get pressure. Now, the Eagles were able to do it, I think 2, 3, 5, but you could see there was a lot of problems there with as far as the pressure, but they had no secondary. This is a secondary-driven defense, and they're playing man, and that's going to roll the clock a little bit higher. And so I think the games that come down to this offensive line, they're going to have their best game and be able to handle that 2-3, 2-3-5, 2-4 time to throw. And if they do, because they're playing man, that will allow Hill and Waddle to get over the top. And I just don't know. But I'm going to have to go because it's going to be the Dolphins' semi-perfect season. Dolphins win this week. So that would be my take. But I think those are the keys that I kind of I got. Some Chiefs don't have wideouts. No, they don't have wideouts with speed, but Mahomes buys the time and then they break open.
But they did get Hardman back, who has speed.
Oh, yeah, that's true too.
He played good with them. He didn't play good with who was he with the Jets or who was he?
Yeah, he didn't. He was with the Jets. He didn't get on the field because he couldn't cut the mustard.
But some players they go back home. They tend to play better for the team they once played for. So it is possible that not that Hardman was the absolute best there, but he did some big plays when he was in KC. So I think Nicole Kidman plays better than Hardman, but that's just me. Not with the Chiefs.
Hey, B21, I think
had some big moments with the Chiefs. Yeah, I think going back home to a playbook he knows, to an offense he knows, Mahomes knows him. Trust me. I don't think, like I said, I don't think he's going to be the best receiver on the team, but he's definitely a help, I think, with speed and just knowing.
Let me ask you something. Let me ask this to Curtis. Curtis, what's your thoughts on Pacheco? Do you have an answer for Pacheco? Because he's actually their MVP on offense.
Well, yeah, he's really, really good. And they've got 3 really good interior linemen. Really good interior linemen. And we run Sealer, Davis, and Wilkins. We run this 2-eye and 3 tech. And then we have the 2 guys on the edge at the 5 tech. And then the linebackers on the back side who struggle in shedding. So it's going to be Pacheco is going to be, that's going to be a huge key for the Kansas City. But they like to run a lot of those draws. And when we've talked about
your favorite play.
Long is great at reading. And if he shoots, he is so much better and disruptive than he is when he has to read and then attack, stack, and shed. But if they can get that inside run game, it's going to be brutal. Because
what do they rank?
Then 18th. Casey's 18th.
No, your runs against the run, Miami. Your team against the run. What are your guys are ranked?
Oh, we're I think we're 9th or something. Let me check. I should know this. Hold on a second.
Because ranking, it could be misconstruing or misleading, because certain things go up against against the stats, but I'm curious to see where Miami runs.
Yeah, no, we're pretty high. We're actually, where are we? Hold on a second. Miami. They got us down the line here. Where are we at? We're like 15th. I thought we were better than that.
Now, you're right.
Because you were 20 something when we played you. So
now you say 15. But what your eye tests tell you? Do they stop the run? See, that's why I wanted. That's the reason why I asked.
You got to remember, it's the whole idea of Fangio's system is to stop the pass. It's pass first defense. So they play the two guys inside. They expect them to play doubles. They take on two guys with like a two gap technique, and then they have the guys out wide to limit the outside running. So they let you run inside, and then Fangio will dial up the blitz to throw you off schedule. So that's he says run. I'm going to let you run inside, but then he tries to throw you off schedule, and so that's where early on a lot of the yards came. But over the last couple of weeks, if you look at the Philly, we were able to limit them pretty well, and they've got a great front. Wilkins is exceptional. Seela can kind of be pretty good. We rotate guys inside, and then Fangio's been blitzing a lot more than he usually. Usually it's like 20%, 21. It was 18, but now it's bumped up to 23%. So I think that they can, because those tackles that KC has, they're not good at run blocking. They're big, but they suck in the run block. So I don't know. It'll be interesting.
With the blitz, I know you said he likes to blitz a lot. And I hate to say that, but one of the best quarterbacks in NFL with blitz against the blitz is Mahomes.
Yeah, But
doesn't concern you a little bit with that though? No?
Because actually the way we blitz, we wrote like, so a lot of times you'll have Chubb and Phillips. And so he'll drop it to his zone. So he might blitz with four guys, but he's still got seven in the secondary. Sometimes they blitz with five. KC's more of like a heavy blitz team. And then again, of course, the problem is will Mahomes break contain? So I don't know. But if you watch Mahomes, he's slow in his reads. His processing is very slow. It's constantly he's getting the ball and he's waiting, he's looking. So I don't know.
But he steps up in that pocket and I saw it from experience. He had a 3rd and 15, 3rd and 17, and he ran for 21 yards. He stepped up and run. He still takes off. Those are the type of things. And if your Fangio's blitzing where the middles could be open, that could be there for Mahomes and extend. Those like extending drives, and you don't want. That's the last thing I think you want your Dolphins on the field for the time possession game. But we'll see, because that's an interesting matchup. That's the chess game that I wanted to bring to hear your thoughts, because you watched the Dolphins on that breakdown on the Chiefs there. So good stuff.
They've been pretty good. Allen didn't run a lot when they played him. Herbert scrambled around a lot, but he wasn't like making yards. Hurts had the bad knee, so he didn't do anything. So I don't think we played a really true
mobile quarterback
yet, so it'll be very interesting along with Kelsey. I don't know. It's going to be, but I think for both teams, it's going to be rushing the football and playing balance, because both these defenses are going to blitz. Both these defenses get after quarterbacks. Now, the one key that I think is Dolphins are one of the worst in the league in yak allowed, and KC is one of the best. And teams that allow us to catch and run after the catch, they get liquefied. So if we can break that yak tendency for them, it's gonna be a long day. But if we can't make our tackles, it's gonna hurt us. So I think that's really
good stuff. That was good stuff. See, you didn't expect to get breaking down like that this on your Dolphins, which I appreciate.
Yeah, well, you always bring good. You guys, that's why I enjoy doing this thing, because now I got to start thinking. Now I got to tell the wife, "Oh, honey, I got to go study football. No movie night tonight." Jedi Kev. All right, so I believe we got 2 out of 3, which ain't bad, as Meatloaf once said. That the Dolphins are going to win. So that's it, guys. I think we covered it all. Anything else that I missed?
Well,
did we do the Patriots one?
Would you do anything for a win? But you won't do that since we're on the Meatloaf.
Yeah, that's right. I'll say that for somebody else.
We can at least give the prediction. Commanders and Patriots. How about that? At least give the score.
Well, we could talk about that.
They are in the AFC East. We at least have to give.
We got to give them that respect. They're here.
Okay, no worries. So,
All right, so go ahead. We'll start with you. You go, Curtis. You're a host.
Oh yeah, all right. I to me, I would have gone over it if it was, but the Commanders are in a sell job.
Yes.
They just sold it to, you know, it's like, are they even trying to win now? They're in a stripped down mode. I think the Patriots will probably win it. They got lots of injuries. You know, and I think Patriots fans are going to be unhappy about that. You know, because they want the draft pick now, and it kind of they had it, and then they beat the Bills, and now they lost to the Dolphins. Is putting in that middle ground where they're going to be out of the quarterback thing. But I think the Patriots probably win. You know, I think what's his face, the coach, is going to get fired. I think this is a tear down. You know, I don't think they're really trying. I don't think they're really trying to win. So that's why I really didn't get excited about it. If it was like a competitive game, you know, I would have. But I think Patriots will win by, I don't know, 7, 10, you know, 20, so 13, 23, 13.
Who do you like
again? You're being really nice to the Patriots lately. I mean, if it was against us, I can understand 23 points. Go
ahead. But they got rid of both their ends.
For some odd reason,
yeah.
we
got rid of Sweet and they got rid of the other guy.
I know that. It doesn't.
They got rid of Sweat and
the
other.
So bad.
Oof.
They're so bad, Curtis.
Yeah, but they're not as honestly, Tommy. They're not
offensively. They're terrible, Curtis. They're averaging 12 points. That's the worst in the league. They're bad. You can't not say they're really not that bad when they're bad.
If you
against us,
if you go back and watch week by week, like say against us, they were driving for points and he threw the pick. To me, it's not necessarily the offense it's bad. It's that they have these weird hiccups. When they played us week 1, they had a beautiful play inside and Chubb got the strip. Then they had another play where it was a pick and they were driving for points. When they were against Eagles, they had 2 plays where they're driving for points and was taken off. So it's this tendency to cause turnovers. It's not necessarily the offense. I think they'll put it together because I don't think the Washington's really going to. I think the pressure's off the Patriots.
It's a tough one.
And I think Washington's not really trying to win.
I don't know. I mean, they've barely, you know, they putting up first week. They put up 20. They put up 17. They put up 10 against the Jets. They put up 3 against Dallas. They put up nothing against New Orleans. 17 against Vegas. 29 against us. That was their top game. 17 against you. They just don't score.
Yeah, so I said they would win 17 to 13.
No, I agree, but right. I'm just saying. No, you said 20. So I don't think their offense is good enough to score 20-something points. I think they win because
they lost Bourne for the season too. I forgot about that. They lost Bourne for the season too.
Yeah,
I think Parker's out. Wait, I might have to edit.
Okay. Yeah, I think their offense is all right. Yeah, they lost Bourne, by the way. Yeah, he's out.
Yeah, for the season. I forgot. I edit.
They don't really
17-13.
They don't have. I'm telling you, they don't have a lot on offense, and they're not running the ball like you think they would with Stevenson. They're just not. They're not. For some reason, they just don't use him the right way. I don't know why. And he's a good running back. But I think the Commanders. There goes our buddy. I think the Commanders make this game close, even without the guys that they just got rid of on defense, but and Sweat and Chase. But I still think the Patriots struggle, man. This is a home game. I'll go Patriots, but I think this is an ugly game, Curtis. I think this is something like 14-10 Patriots.
Wow.
Bro,
you're better at picking the numbers than me.
They just don't have enough, man. They don't have enough offensive power, man. I like, it's weird too. What I don't like about the Patriots too, they got 2 capable tight ends that they really, once again, they don't use much of. Like, I don't understand what their offensive game plan is. Like, I don't get it. You got a good running back and you got 2 quality tight ends, and they just don't use them. Like, Gesicki's barely used. Hunter Henry's barely used. Stevenson's barely gets the ball. So
they still got Payne and Allen. That defense is pretty good.
Well, yeah, the Commanders still have a couple. Listen, they have a good line even without those guys. But I think their offense is what's up and down with the Commanders at times. But they have playmakers even on offense. It's their quarterback's a little shaky. but they still have some playmakers. So that's what I'm saying. I think this game's a little closer than what you think.
I think I might have had a dud on this one.
2010 Commander. Okay, wow. What do you got?
You know me, I always try to give Bill Belichick his flowers. One of the best coaches in NFL, who gets the team prepared, who plays simple. Keep it simple, stupid, fundamental football. I know his roster is limited. Ron Rivera on the other side, how's he looking at that team? And he looks like he's a lame duck coach. He looks like, they got rid of Montez Sweat. They got rid of Chase Young. Waving the white flag, that they have a new ownership with, in there and all that good stuff. They want to turn the leaf. They inherited Ron Rivera. The point is, the players see the writing on the wall. They see there's going to be turnovers and changes coming to the organization. Here comes an opportunistic Bill Belichick with his men who will compete. Because if y'all don't play it for the Patriots, y'all going to get canned, out of the league, cut. You know how it is. That's why I like New England to win. It's not going to be the prettiest game. It's going to be another ugly white knuckle game where it could probably be something with, one thing again that we don't talk about is special teams. Special teams, field goal positioning, field positioning, all those things that hits a well-coached team. I think New England goes and wins this game, but it's not going to be the prettiest. I think they'll score 16 points, and just hold the Commanders to like 10 or 13. So it's something like that. It's not going to be pretty. It's not going to be, wow, barn burner. You don't even want to look at the highlights of it. But I think New England wins that because they're well coached. They're going to make the right things. They're going to be in position to steal a win. And that's all I really got on that. I wish I could have more to elaborate, but it is what it is.
And he's a younger quarterback too. I forget his name over there. I forget the quarterback's name, but Belichick, he loves going against guys that are rookies.
Howell?
Or
is it Sam Howell? Yeah. Is it Howell?
Sam Howell. So Belichick loves going against guys that aren't right, aren't there just quite yet in their career. He'll get after him. He'll make him make some mistakes. But like I said, man, I think you're right too, Kev. I think like 17-10, 17-13, 14-10, somewhere around there. Low scoring, ugly. Kind of a defensive punt fest, as you will. I think tons of punts in this game.
Will there be highlights?
I don't know.
Hey, Sean, what's going on, brother? Hey, Sean, I answered your question on my last live in the comments below. I totally got lost in the sauce, brother. Sorry about that. Sorry, keep going, guys.
That's it. I think that's it, Curtis. We covered everything.
Yeah, we did.
Cool, guys. Thanks, man. I enjoyed it. I was so tired this week, man.
Yeah, Curtis is done, guys. You should have you should have a white flag and just wave that shit right now.
You're more cooked than a Thanksgiving turkey, man.
You ain't kidding. I am so fried.
When is that little pop gonna come out? You know how the turkey has a little top that pops out.
It's already been out, man. It's been out since I started. Since I hit click, let's go live. I gotta get it together now. It's wife dating time, and she says you have time for everybody and energy for everybody.
Hey, you gotta make sure you take the blue pill.
I'm gonna take 7 blue pills, 4 pots of coffee, and do a. So
Ace per head needs another sponsor. Little blue pill, Curtis. Let's go.
I don't need that. I just need to stay awake. If I can stay awake, I'm good. I think I need what is it? Was it Tony Montana, the end scene in Scarface? That's what I need.
Yeah, you need to be you need a Jaguar to be Jaguars fans. The owner's known to be messing around with the nose candy.
Well,
so Tony Khan.
Pop off spot. All right, guys. Thank you for stopping by. Everybody, let me know where they can find you. I learned this one from Tommy. He's a suave guy. Tommy, where can they find you?
All right, you guys can find me at Mafia Sports Report on YouTube, and then Tommy Talks Bills on Twitter, and that's it, man. I go live every post game and on Mondays and Friday nights.
There you go.
All right, awesome. Tommy's the best. Any Bills fan should be watching Tommy. Tommy is the best, man. But the second best and getting close because he predicted the Dolphins to win. He might overtake Tommy. That's Jedi Kev. No. Jedi Kev, you're a genius. Smart man. At least for this week. At least for this week. Where can I find you, brother?
Absolutely. At Sports Jedi Network, we do a lot of the different watch-alongs. I covered football, basketball, baseball, Wrestling, we just came off of a stream, so a little bit tired, a little cranky and hungry because I just did a stream of wrestling a couple hours ago. Got on here live because that's what responsible men do. And of course UFC, and we go live and we do all different, myself and a group of my guys, we cover all the different sports. And what we say, we thank you for joining us. Hit that like button. First and foremost, let's hit the like button. If you haven't subscribed to Ace Per Head, Mafia Sports Jedi, please do. We really appreciate it. That helps us grow our channel. We want to continue to grow and continue to bring fun platform, good banter, back and forth. All of this is just good banter and good spirits. We appreciate everyone in the chat. Without the chat, we will not have a show. We would just be three guys just having a conversation to no one. And you guys interact with us, and that's what makes this program very, very enlightening and very electrifying. And we appreciate all of you guys for it. And again, thank you. And you guys can find me there. And of course, I always like to tell you, may the sports be with you. And we'll see you on the AFC. And again, thank you again, guys.
And guess what? You can find me here. This is my place. This is where you find me. See? I don't have to do much after that. Everybody knows. This is it. All right, guys. You're the best. Really, you are. You're great guys.
Get some rest, man.
Yeah, I'm going to. I'm out of here. I'm going to watch some movies.
Later, guys.
Be good. Have a good night, all.